Dickens. How did Dickens die? A la Shmoop.
One of the things that Dickens was very well known for, and which brought him a lot of income, was public speaking. And not so much public speaking in the way that we might think of it, like a sort of speech, and not a speech for its own sake. Most of the time what he was doing was reading or reenacting scenes from his novels. The murder of Nancy in Oliver Twist was by far the biggest crowd pleaser in the sense that it got a response, not that it was like happy. He writes in his letters, and other witnesses testify, that he would just absolutely bring down the house every single time that he enacted this particular scene. And not surprisingly, the way in which he did that was so over the top that it exacted an enormous physical toll from him every time he did it. So towards the end of his life, again in an effort to raise much needed money, he went on a lecture circuit doing this. And supposedly, yet another reenactment of the scene really led to the downfall of his health and ultimate, somewhat premature death. We have to remember that people weren't living regularly until, into their 80s or something in the Victorian period, especially around London. We often hear the term London fog. So London fog, for example, was not fog. That London fog is actually pollution. And so when people talked about London fog or pea soup fog, what they meant was soot from people's chimneys and from factories and so forth that would get stuck in the streets of London, much like smog gets stuck in places like LA or Beijing today. And would just sit there and people would inhale it. I'm sure that also contributed to him being not terribly healthy.
What activity took a major toll on Dickens' health? What was London fog?